Welcome back to Talking to the Game. It's your host, Marquise,
It's your boy Joe Sue.
KB.
and we are here with another episode. We're going to dive right into it. We're going to talk about these NBA players that we think that are very underrated. First, I'm going to start with Zach LaVine. The guy has been improving every year since he's been in Chicago, and correct me if I'm wrong. He is more than just a dunker. He can shoot, he can drive, he can pass, he creates. And I still feel like people are not giving this man his flowers. He averaged 25. Now he's top 4 in the league in points. And he still managed to get people involved. If he's not an all-star this year, I don't know what to say. Man, tell me your thoughts, man.
So you go ahead with that one, man.
Man, all I'm going to say is because of the market he's in, nobody's really going to be paying attention to the Chicago Bulls. They don't really have, in their perspective, great players for us to recognize. Me, as a basketball fan, I've been recognizing he's a baller. That man is a hooper. Like, that man is an asset on any team you put him on. I'm not going to say they're going to turn to a championship contending team, but they're definitely making it to the playoffs and getting to the second round with Zach LaVine on their squad.
All I'm gonna say, I totally agree with both of you guys. This guy could put the ball in the hoop in many different ways. He can drive it. He can pull up mid range. He can shoot the three off the dribble. This man could do it all. I'm a big fan of Zach LaVine, and unfortunately, like you said, he's in Chicago, which is one of those medium sized markets, but he doesn't really have any teammates, nor does the team success really help him. So look, I hope he gets his due as far as being in the All Star game eventually. But there are awesome other good guards in the East. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. Got Bradley Beal, DC guy, #1 vote getter.
So tell me,
Yeah.
who you think is second on the list? Who you think should be second that we say is underrated? For me, it's Andre Drummond. The reason why I
Okay.
say Andre Drummond is for the simple, and this is not in no top order, but the reason why I have him second is because how the game is changing, and his game has not changed, and he's still an instant double-double. And he basically got traded for nothing going to the Cavs. And he still produces, and people forget his numbers. Like, people don't even think about him. And we're also going to touch on his future because he's no longer playing for the Cavs at the moment because they're talking about trading him. And we also want to hit on where is he going next year? Like, where do y'all think would be the best fit for this underrated player? I would like him on the Brooklyn Nets because I
want him on the Spurs.
You said the what? Not the Spurs. Please, not the Spurs.
Oh, bro. Honestly, that's all we need. We need a big man to help us. We have a guard. We have a cool small forward in DeMar DeRozan. I like our squad. DeJounte Murray at the point. You know what I'm saying? I like that team. But we need a big man to get us those boards. Are the offensive boards, the defensive boards have been killing us.
I like him on the Brooklyn Nets because they need a big man.
But you're going to have to pay him.
We don't know what he's going to think about. You got to think, he's in the later part of his career. So will we have to pay him that much just for the simple fact that he might be ring chasing now?
I mean,
you got to think how he wants his legacy to end at this point. You know what I mean? Some people choose the money. Some people choose the rings.
But is it a guaranteed ring knowing that LeBron and the Lakers are in the West?
It's a guaranteed trip to the finals if he comes. I can say that.
Okay, but like you said, he's too late in his career to just be making finals trips.
Yeah.
If he wanted, this is where they do make it.
If he wanted the rings, he wouldn't have re-signed with Detroit. He wouldn't have signed that large contract. He'd have been out on the market. He'd have found his worth, and he'd have found someplace. There was some teams looking for a big man.
He probably would have been on the Lakers by now.
Possibly. But as far, selfishly, I want to see him on the Wizards. We need a big man. Selfishly, I want to see that. But realistically, I think he might fit in Toronto. I think that they need I think they need a big man presence and somebody that can really get rebounds. They got some good shooters. And I think with that team, if they get Drummond, they can do a great job of going 4 at one end. And Drummond he's dominant enough inside where he can
Right.
command presence with two people.
You got
And the
Easily.
crazy part is
Siakam,
Toronto
man,
was actually in
crazy.
talks.
Yeah.
Toronto was actually in talks with him.
That's gonna be interesting.
They declined.
So
yeah, right now. Yeah.
I mean, I'm aware now, but it's like, dang, they still have the talent to do stuff though. I was looking at their numbers earlier. They have the talent.
we'll see.
I mean,
We'll see
and that's the
what they
thing.
do.
Well, the thing is, you're gonna have to give up somebody or at least pay him. But the thing is, the person that's not getting paid right now, who's one of my top 5, and who's getting about 7 to 8 year, even though he should be a starting role guy, is Lou Williams. I still think that guy is underrated. I think that he should have had a team that he could, or at least had a chance to lead a team from a starting position, because we all know that starting role just gives that status, that feeling. Like, not saying that a 6-man can't do it, but in Lou Will's case, just giving him a chance to start or at least to have his own team is well overdue. And to my opinion, he's severely underrated.
I think because he is so good at the 6-man, people only saw him there, but they always gave him starter minutes because of his
production.
His production, yes, his production to keep the team going as far as scoring ability. He never been a crazy good defender to me. He never really had that. I could see him as a good second option, but as a first option, he never really had that to me. But I definitely saw him making more All-Star games than him getting overpicked.
You got to remember, bro, All-Star games are like popularity contests. They're all based on fans' vote. So
and he's in the West.
Good,
very true.
Whoever looks good, the fans are going to vote for him.
I still thought he should have made it. I thought it was multiple times he should have made it where he did not make it to the All-Star game just because it is a popularity test. I mean, popularity contest. But the thing is, to give him his own team, I don't know if I would stretch that far, but I definitely thought he would be a solid number 2 for anybody. So I could definitely see why you call him underrated for sure. One of my people who I thought is underrated was Trae Young. And the crazy part, a lot of people would disagree because of his numbers, but the thing is, he never got the same attention like Luka Doncic. And that's the crazy part. If you look at their numbers their numbers is very similar. But he never got an NBA all NBA team. He was an all-star. He was an all-star, but he wasn't in conversations for getting on an NBA team when he should have been. When his numbers is there, all because losing, and just because they're losing doesn't mean he doesn't deserve it. Because if you think about it, Luka finished 7th. He finished 7th. Like, you can't say that's impressive. Finishing 7th ain't impressive. And they talked about him being in the MVP. They talked about the future of the league. But you won't talk about Trae Young, and they had the same almost exact stats. That's not. Come on.
No, I get that, but the thing it goes back to Zach LaVine. I think this year he's averaging about 28, right?
Yeah, 28, 29.
And before he's 25 and 22, 23. But my thing is that in my opinion, I think Trae Young is more one-dimensional. He has a good game, but he's not the guy that you're going to be like, all right, cool. He could do everything on the floor. He could pull up and have a good mid-range. He can, he's fast and he's quicker than a lot of people, and he uses that to his advantage. And I think this is what his third year, second or third year. And he's still young. Yeah, but I think that once he finds, I think his niche is going to be, I don't see him as a playmaker. I see him as a good shooter. I think he's going to find himself to be more like a Steph role. Give the ball up, come off screens, shoot the ball, catch and shoot. But I just don't see him as a playmaker. And I think that when you're talking about that Luka conversation, it kind of turns into playmakers. And as far as his bigger impact on the game, like, is Trae Young making his teammates better? Has John Collins gotten better because he's been with Trae? Has Clint Capella gotten better since he's been with Trae? Like, it's just things like that. And I'm not saying that Luka's teammates has all gotten better either, but it's kind of hard to argue with some of the stuff that he's been doing as well.
So let's talk about it. I know you brought the Go ahead, Sue.
No, I was just saying if he was saying that because the Mavs made the playoffs and the Hawks have yet to do that.
Well, that's a big part too. That's a big part too.
You
Like
got
Beal
to
is not
think.
going to be in the MVP conversation this year, even though he's putting up great numbers.
Because of his team. A lot of these players that we're talking
Right, it
about,
happens.
they're huge contributors to their team, but it's just them. Most teams
Yes.
we hear about, it's a duo. Nowadays, like back in the
Yeah.
early 2010s, it was about the big three. You know what I'm saying? Lately, it's now the biggest duo. So if it's only
Yeah.
one player contributing and then you don't have a number two, what are we here to talk about? We're not going to discuss you guys. Well, that's them.
Exactly.
That's the
Exactly.
crazy thing.
And then the crazy part is you compared him to Stephen Curry. Let's think about Steph's impact when he did win the MVP. He
It
won.
took Steph a
Mhm.
long time
Yeah.
before he got to any type of recognition. He
And
Yeah.
then
started in
let's
'09. He didn't
I
get no type of flowers until 15.
but the thing is he was starting off slow and he gradually built up. You
Of
feel me?
course.
Mhm.
Of course.
Trey Young went from 19 to 28. Like you got to understand, like Trey Young progression is way faster than Steph's. When if you start them like at the same, like if you look at Steph rookie year compared to Steph to Trey Young had a better rookie year.
I agree with that.
He had a better third year. But the thing is, he didn't have the pieces. Trey Young don't have the pieces around him like Luka does.
He
Luka
doesn't have
is
to
a better
score
team.
as much, maybe now, because that's why his numbers could go down. His point
Luka,
numbers could go
Luka,
down.
you
He
can't
doesn't have
tell
to
me
score as much because last
him with the
season he was definitely the
unicorn
number one bucket getter.
and with
Nobody
Tim
else was going to
Hardaway
score
Jr.
but
That's
him.
not a better team.
I'm
That
not
is
saying it's a better team, but
that
he's
team
trying to share the
in
ball
Dallas.
more.
That team in Dallas is definitely a better team.
Yeah, his assist numbers went up too, so he's definitely trying to share the ball more.
And the thing is,
Well,
he averaged last year like 9 assists.
Yeah, 9.3 and this year 9.4. So
not saying that he didn't, but it's ah.
It's just
I
sometimes it's I like and this is the conversation we were having earlier this week where I wanted to have this conversation. Is it, and we're gonna save this for another time though. Is it are these players really making their teammates better if they're not winning? Like think about it. If you're not winning, are you really making your teammates better? And I'm not saying like winning as far as like regular season games. I'm talking about if you don't win the finals, are you really making your teammates better? If you're not going deep into the finals, if you're not going to the Eastern Conference Finals, are you really making your teammates better? You know what I mean? Because we always say LeBron makes his teammates better. Steve
LeBron was born with that kind of gift.
teammates
So
better. They
Trey
all
Young is
make
the
their
type of guy who
teammates
got to like
better.
work his
Are
way up
they
there.
really making their teammates better?
I, I think that it's the
Really start
methods in
thinking
which you do
about it.
that though. But that's the thing, it's the methods in which that you're talking about. So are we talking about physically every single day we're putting up shots type of thing, or is it getting players confidence? Or is it making sure that you're getting this guy in the rhythm because you know that you're going to need him at this time, later on in the game? And that's what I think that, players like LeBron, Luca, uh,
Kawhi.
mostly the playmakers guys, the guys that really enjoy the game and are not about trying to get their own buckets all the time. Luca could put the ball in the basket easy. He's a walking triple double all the time. But at the same time, he does get his guys involved, get those guys rhythm. Get Porzingis, he has to get those guys involved, and it's good to see that he does do that because he can take games over. He's had 40-point triple doubles, easy. And he does that. So to put Trey in that category, my thing is Trey is putting himself as a one-dimensional player, and it's tough for me to say that, but he's putting himself in that box. Um, and it's going to be interesting to see how he climbs out of that and how he progresses moving forward. But I think he has a great upside to him, so I like him.
I think he's still dishing out the assists and everything as far as that. I feel as though it's the team. Sometimes it's just you can only get so far with certain players because it comes to a certain point where you gotta have pieces like, and this is why I was so stuck on Rondo, Dwight Howard staying with the Lakers, because you need those players. You need those type of players to elevate your team.
Yeah.
I understand people say LeBron make his team better, but I can't sit here and say he wins that championship without Rondo and Dwight Howard. and what
Mostly needs AD
to the
though.
team because
I
you
agree.
He did
know what you're
replace
going to.
them. He did replace them with pieces who are gonna produce. He did replace them. Dwight
Well,
Howard's
yeah,
gone. You got Montrezl Harrell. You got
but
Schroeder.
but the argument or the discussion comes into as though what does he do to get those guys better? He puts those guys in a position where their talents and what they do best is amplified. Like
Yeah,
when he was in Miami, when he had all those shooters around him, that was perfect because the defense was all on him and he could just whip it out to his shooters and it was buckets from there. All they have to do is worry about shooting. So if he get guys like that, and if you look, Wesley Matthews, Kuzma, uh, what's it called, Caruso, Quinn Cook, those guys are just really knockdown shooters if they need to. Like Caruso, more from the corner. He's not really a great shooter, but he'll knock it down from the corner if he needs to. So I think that he has guys in there that's going to do a job, and he helps them do their job to the best of their ability by helping them get them in spots, get them in rhythm and things like that. So
Okay.
it's tough to
I,
say.
I definitely understand. Let's hit on two more people who we think is underrated.
Yeah.
You got somebody?
So who you got, man?
I don't know if y'all know I be saying some wild stuff and y'all be looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, I
But
might have to log off after this one.
hey, hear me out. When's the last time you heard the name Terry Rozier? Excluding you, Kenny, because you love that man. But when's the last time you heard ESPN, ABC, CBS, any of them cover Terry Rozier?
Good point.
Man, that boy right there, second best scorer on the Hornets, literally shooting 49%.
That's
49% from the field goal, 44.5 from three. You know what I'm saying? 4 boards, 3 assists, doing what he got to do. Nobody's talking about that. Yeah, fine. Nobody wants to talk about the Hornets. Who the Hornets really got? Low key, they got people. It's not going to be at superstar level yet. But if you look at the roster, they aren't scrubs. We got to
agreed.
talk about them some more. And that's
Buzz
one thing I
City.
feel like who's really underrated.
Buzz City's coming back.
This,
In about 5 years. 5 years. They'll be coming back.
Well, that was
this
Gordon Hayward's
episode for me.
contract, so
I
we got
don't
to
I
see it.
don't I don't know if they'll be back in the next 5 years because of what they just did with Gordon Hayward. It's gonna be a lot of moving pieces for me. Gordon Hayward is still, I think he's the most underrated on that team for me.
He's the best scorer on that team right now.
Just for the simple fact that he went from Utah to Boston, got hurt, came back into a role where he was really unfamiliar, especially with the dynamics of the team switching up as far as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown emerging.
Yeah,
You
they're the
got
primary
Kemba Walker
shooters,
coming in, and
ball handlers.
then you come in to another role where you get paid this amount of money and people expect you to produce, and you're producing.
He's averaging at least 20.
Like, I'm not gonna say people, I'm gonna just say this organization expecting him to produce, and he's doing it at a high level where people really didn't expect him to do that, and he's playing fantastic. I think the Hornets is definitely a fun team to watch, but
they're gonna make some noise. Kenny gives them 5. I give them 3. 3 years. 3 years. 3.
Okay.
You guys are very optimistic.
Thank you.
Who is the other guy?
5.
You guys are very optimistic.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Come on. Melo literally was averaging 12 points last week. Now he's averaging 14, bro. He's literally coming up the 3rd best scorer on the team.
Yeah, he making them free throws. An extra 2 free throws is popping in.
I think LaMelo is balling for sure, but the dynamics of the team is not a contending team. I feel like things
not yet, no.
So,
not yet, no. But
so to say 3 years,
in 3 years,
3 years,
3 years,
is really not a long time to find the pieces.
3 years, they'll be a 2nd or 3rd round playoff team.
You're a very optimistic guy, like I said.
Thank you.
Yeah, I say 5.
And for your final, and for the final 5th, who's on y'all last? As y'all think, as we think.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say the name. I ain't really gotta explain it. Karl Anthony Towns when he's healthy. That dude's a monster. The monster of Minnesota. I think that he has a lot of I do. Yeah, I mean, like he's got a lot that he can give to a team, and unfortunately, he's hasn't been paired with a guy that who's at the top of his game. He's been around some talent, but either it could have been the front office or those guys that just haven't been able to get it done. So hopefully, him and D'Lo right now can get it pushing because if Jimmy ain't work, if Andrew Wiggins didn't work, if Zach LaVine didn't work, I mean, they brought some guys in.
I definitely see where you're coming from. I think Zach LaVine, he was still playing. I think Minnesota at the time
young,
a good team, but they were very young. And
yeah, very.
thought Andrew Wiggins was going to be their second guy. And the crazy part is
that it's very hard for them to do anything.
Yeah, I think Andrew Wiggins was actually okay at that point, but it's just
I hate Andrew.
He didn't really fit with them as well. I think D'Lo is definitely a better fit. I think D'Lo is very underrated. After he had a great performance in Brooklyn, and then somehow they just got rid of him. But you got to understand when you got
actually, I don't know.
And KD
had him.
Got to go. But
he literally got his name back in Brooklyn. Like he was with the Lakers, people recognized him, but they were like, he's not really producing like we thought he would be since he was the number 2 overall pick. And now when he went to Brooklyn, he was like, you forgot who I am. This is who I am. And now since he's with Minnesota, we just need him. I will give them 3 to 5 years before they can become a contending team. He needs to stay over there. And Anthony Towns needs to stop being soft.
I think now compared to the Hornets, I think they in 3 to 5 years they could be a contender team, especially if Anthony Edwards is that guy who we think he is.
He's been playing well so far.
Very well.
We'll see. Very well. So let's just fast forward. Let's just switch lanes real quick. Talk about the NBA All-Star Game. What are y'all concerns with it? Let's just get that up in the air.
I kind of think it's pointless.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's like honestly, like back before COVID and everything happened, we would have the Pro Bowl, we would have the All-Star games just for fun, just to watch dunk contests, the best shooters in the game do what they love to do. But now you're putting yourself at a higher risk. Like the Spurs game was postponed today due to health protocols. So you trying to postpone another game because you just wanted to have an All-Star game or an All-Star weekend? Put people's health first. You don't got to do all that. It was just for fun. Just let it go until COVID is over.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, that's a great point, Sue. Just like you said, this game started off as just being for fun. Because if you guys remember, the Pro Bowl used to be at after the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that used to be the game nobody used to really watch for real. Yep. After the Super Bowl, the season was really over. But they put the Pro Bowl before the Super Bowl. People start watching it. Watching it more. But the thing about these games is that they're becoming more and more and more and more of moneymakers. Between the halftime performances, the slam dunk contest, the jerseys, all the things that they do in the community after, during that. Like most of that stuff is moneymakers. So I guess they're trying to salvage a lot of that stuff that they're trying to get back. They don't get ticket revenue or portions of ticket revenue. So the owner's trying to get some money back. Like it goes into, a couple rabbit holes, but personally, I don't think it should happen. I don't, give the people their accolades, but as far as having an actual game, I don't see the point in that. It's not going to be any fans.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in Atlanta, right? It's in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm pretty
sure. They moved it to Atlanta.
Definitely got to double check on that.
But, yeah, I'm pretty sure they moved it to Atlanta, but it's just like Sue said, you're putting people into a place where there's more and more risk, and you're adding people to that, plus their families. It's yeah. I wouldn't do it. I can share their sentiments.
I think they should do it. Y'all have this season so bad. Y'all want to have these 72 games. They managed to fix up the schedule. Y'all wanted the bubble. They gave y'all the bubble all for y'all to play basketball. And you want these game checks. Play this All-Star game. If your health was really a concern, you wouldn't have went through all this trouble. I'm not hearing that. You wouldn't have done all that.
Capitalist.
You said what?
You sound like a true capitalist.
I'm not. But my thing is, don't beg for something. But when you have an All-Star game, for us to make more money, you talking about, nah, I'm not feeling it. no, you wanted to do this. We're gonna go all the way in. So I don't want to hear that. That's not no. You give it your all like you've been giving it your all. So all that other stuff, nah, I'm not here for it. Play the All-Star game. You gonna get that extra cheese on top for whoever make it.
Yeah.
Check that check. Like you've been complaining about collecting them checks because some of y'all living check to check of your NBA game. I don't know why, but doing it anyway for your lifestyle. Play the game. You wanted it. The season's here. Hey, deal with it. And I don't mean to be that person, but if your health was concerning, if your health was that concerning, the league could have just shut the season down. There could have been no bubble. There could have been no season that started in December. If your concern was your health, you know what I mean? But you're not gonna play all these games and be like, the NBA All-Star game doesn't count though.
No, I get because that's technically not built into the contract, but I do understand that because I'm a businessman at heart, and I understand like if I pay you to do a job, you do that job and whatever comes with that, at that point. But I was having this conversation earlier with a friend of mine about the NFL season and how some players were still complaining. It's like, you wanted this. If you wanted to play and if you wanted to do this, and this is what you signed up for, follow the rules and do what you need to do in order to, do what you signed up to play this season. You signed up to have every positive and negative consequence that comes with that, whether it's injury or whether it's an MVP trophy. You signed up to have that. So I get it. You should definitely do it. But at the same time, I think the game itself this year in this environment, in this pandemic is pointless. But the business side of it, I'm right with you.
The reason why I'm not hearing it is because, like I said, the NBA could have been shut down. We didn't have to have everybody play. But these people want to play so bad, you're going to play this one little game that's going to make money. I'm sorry. It's one game. It's not like the NBA All-Star week was full of games where y'all play each other every day. It's one game. Yeah. The one game.
Hey, you turn around.
Continue on with the season. If you wanted this, we didn't have to do a 72-game season. It didn't have to be an NBA. Right. But y'all wanted it. We give it to y'all. Play the game. I don't want to hear no, it's pointless, blah, blah.
I feel like when it comes to the NBA All-Star game, who, like you said, you're going to get cut a check, but whoever makes it. And there's dudes out there who deserves to make it to that game. And it's like, if you skip out on the season, do you know how much money they're losing and they have to provide for their family?
Like I said,
I don't count people's pockets, but I get it.
I'm not counting their pockets either, but you got to remember, bro.
Like I said,
you got to remember, this is a fact. A lot of professional athletes, once they retire, they become dead broke.
Why?
Because they don't know how to get their money.
That's that All-Star game check. That has nothing to do with us.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
That All-Star game has nothing to do with me.
All-Star game. I'm not relating that to the All-Star game. What I'm saying is they could go broke if they don't get paid for working this season. But if you could skip out on one game because you're going to make twice as much with the finals, why have it?
No. You're
going to make twice as much with the finals.
You're going to play the whole season.
You're going to make twice as much as the finals.
Who cares? I want more money. I want more money. I'm sorry. If you wanted a season, this season includes NBA All-Star Weekend. So get your All-Star game face on.
Capitalist.
For the finals. No, I don't want to hear that.
Sign the contract.
Yes, there is.
Oh, bro.
No, none of
that. Without me, you don't make money.
You don't get paid.
If LeBron James or Giannis or KD said, "I'm not playing,"
you need me more than I need you.
LeBron is the one who kicked everything off. He kicked it off by saying, "I don't know if we should have an All-Star game." And once LeBron says what LeBron says, everybody gonna run after.
LeBron's gonna.
But did you hear that second part of that quote where he said that if I get picked, I'm gonna play?
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna be happy about it. That's all he said.
He's telling everybody he doesn't want to.
Right.
But I know
if he's not gonna play, somebody else gonna take it, and they're gonna be happy with it. That's the only thing.
But
He's
guess
at a
what?
position.
LeBron's leading in the LeBron's leading in votes. So guess what he's gonna be doing? He's gonna be
17 was it 17th All-Star appearance? It's about to be a 17th.
Yeah.
At this point, it's just becoming. It's like with Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. It's just becoming a yearly ritual. Like he could skip out a year.
He's going to play.
He don't want to play. That's the problem.
I don't
That's
care
the
what
only
he
thing.
wants to do. I'm going to tell you what he's going to do. He's going to play.
It's the Holland. President Holland. That's what
you wanted the season.
Y'all
you
are
wanted the
gonna
season. You want to get
somebody's
paid.
gonna get it.
Guess what?
Somebody's gonna get it.
You want to do this.
Somebody's gonna get it.
Do that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no, I just want to do this and I don't want to go and do that. No, you're going to do both. It comes with the contract. It's a part of the NBA. They get the total NBA experience.
If Kawhi can sit out half the season, LeBron can miss the All-Star game.
That's between him and his organization.
You can't really bring that up.
But I did.
But
I did.
I'm gonna say one thing: load management, resting him.
That's the same thing.
Did get fined. He did get fined for sending them home one time because he's always known for resting his players. But you should make that comparison.
Since we were talking about LeBron, let's bring in Kyle Kuzma. Let's talk about these warnings that they got. Is the NBA really starting to take these flops serious? Or I
hope so.
I wish.
Because honestly, I would love if they did too, Sue.
Well, I'm kind of surprised. But
I get tired of watching these players do gymnastics and front flips and back flips when they
Marcus Smart, right?
Ooh, Marcus Smart is a great defender. We're not going to talk about him.
No, he
great flopper. All great defenders are great floppers.
Pancakes. No.
First of all, did you see the ghastly performance that Jimmy Butler pulled?
That's not the point.
Yo,
that's not the point.
This man was laying on the ground. He was like, "Do you see me? No. What about this side?"
Look, I've seen Marcus Smart get flicked, and he did a whole ballet routine across the floor.
Talk about Kyle Lowry as well.
That's why I said most good defenders, if not all of them, are very good floppers. Okay?
Flopping has to go.
But
they're trying to get a call. And that's
it just can't come out of nowhere, though. It just can't come out of nowhere. It's got to be like, hey, look, you see him dipping his shoulder, trying to get into it.
Trying to sell it like a charge. He's driving.
Yeah, that's different.
Try to sell a charge, but that's not what they doing. They flipping and just throwing their bodies around, bro. Low key, if they keep flopping, they're gonna injure themselves.
Yeah, and that's really the big problem about it. But the crazy part is, did you see Jimmy Butler? Why he pulled the Kevin Hart though? He said, "Take me, Jesus." Grandma, we see you, Grandma.
Like, what you doing? Come on, get Grandma out of here.
Bruh, it's just getting ridiculous, and I really do wish the NBA will take it more seriously and actually start finding these players.
It should be a fine between like 10 to 15.
Making that adjustment, we'll see less of it once they start hitting them pockets. Because I'm telling you, it's a player that's gonna flop every game, 2 to 3, easy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Lance Stevenson was still an NBA player.
I think he's out of the league this year.
He is. But if he was, he'd be the flopper that would get this new rule signed.
We'll see.
No, might have been JR.
On the Lakers, though, let's talk about that Anthony Davis injury to the Achilles, man.
That's gonna kill them.
They out for 2 to 3 weeks.
It's gonna kill LeBron.
Okay, let's say that.
Literally. But the fact that they had to put like 3 overtime games back to back. LeBron is known as the closer, so he can't be playing all these minutes, especially since he has to close out the game. He got a rest. This man said so himself, like, bro, I'm 36, man. My heart can't take it. I can't keep taking these overtime games. And now my number two just went down. So it's like, bro, I'm still gonna win, but it's gonna take a lot out of me.
But it's actually not that bad. It's that they thought it was Achilles. Now it's actually his calf. It's a calf strain. It's still 2 to 3 weeks.
Still gotta take that thing serious. check it out because he literally is your number 2.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think Schroeder be what Schroeder's doing. I think Harold's gonna do what he needs to do. I think they'll be fine. I think 2 to 3 weeks, 7, 8 games, they'll be fine. The worst they'll do is probably drop to number 4, if that. If big if they drop to number 4. Who cares if they drop? We all know they're still the top team to beat.
It'll take them a while because they're at number 2 now. They're like 1 game and a half in front of the Clippers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then they're like 2 to 3. No, I think they're like 4 to 5 games actually in front of the Phoenix Suns. But they're still if they drop, they'll drop to 4. Nothing crazy. Still a team to beat. Still the best team in the West. I know we talked about him earlier. DeAndre Drummond and his trade future. His future.
Yeah, Andre.
The Blake Griffin future, who's actually sitting out for the Pistons, and they're talking about what they're going to do with him. Is he getting paid? Are we trading him?
I feel like they're going to trade him.
But where do you think he should go? Because honestly, when I heard he's on the market now, I didn't know exactly where he should go. And the thing is, as much as we talk about what not Boston, but the Nets need, he's not one of them.
Call me crazy, but what about Chicago?
I would like him in Chicago. But the thing is, you got to think also, Blake Griffin's in his latter career.
Yeah.
Miami. I say Miami.
I don't think so, only for the simple fact that they got Bam.
But they need to. Like, Myers ain't getting done. That's why they lost last year. Because they didn't have nobody that could really bang with Dwight, JaVale, and AD.
I feel like
two of them at the same time, it wasn't going to work.
I feel like they lost last year for the simple fact that Jimmy Butler always waited late to turn it on.
That too. And also Goran was out for 2 games.
Yeah, he was out for 2 games.
That helped.
They had a couple things going.
That man had no strength, no energy, yo. He was done.
But even look at top down though.
Boston.
I don't know.
If they can,
he ain't gonna get the ball
together in Boston.
He ain't gonna get the ball.
They need a big man.
But he's not really a shot blocker though.
They need a scorer.
Boston needs a scorer.
They have
in
4
the paint. For the paint, yeah, they don't have no paint presence.
Well, they let Horford
Andre
go.
Drummond then, because he'll get rid of Daniel Tyus. That's what you need. You need Andre Drummond more than you need Blake Griffin.
He would probably be a better fit.
Yeah,
Al Horford.
Al Horford is slow.
It's not bad.
When he plays.
Oh, sorry. He just blows me. He blows me sometimes. Al Horford blows me.
He's not the same Atlanta Hawks Al Horford. Ever since he started shooting them threes, man, he haven't been the same to me.
Yeah.
Dude to get you 8 rebounds.
The big man shooting now. The big man is starting to handle the ball. That's what a lot of people expect from the big mans nowadays.
I don't know exactly what would be a good fit for him, honestly.
For Blake?
Yeah, maybe going back to the Clippers.
I said Miami.
Kawhi.
Washington?
Clippers can need. Nah, he ain't coming to Washington. It would be the Clippers or I think Miami. I think Miami.
Think about the Clippers. Clippers might be nice for him.
Maybe if he goes back, yeah. When's the last time he's been injured?
I don't know.
In a few years.
A couple years
ago. He's just been losing.
Last time when they were in the playoffs and he was playing on that broken leg.
Yeah, you just don't really hear about him ever since he been in Detroit.
Yeah.
The problem. I just feel like it's time for him to start contending. I mean, he got paid already. It's time for him to win the ring.
But he also has to produce too. He's been averaging like 10 points. I'm
not worried about his production just for the simple fact that he's with Detroit. He probably doesn't want to be in Detroit, to be honest. He probably never.
So they'll probably trade him. But if they trade him, that's what kind of pieces do you think they'll get? If say he goes back to LA, what pieces will he get for them? What will they get for him?
Depends on how desperate Detroit is.
Detroit.
They're in a rebuilding stage for the next 20 years.
All right, so they might not ask for a lot.
They might just get money. You never know.
Well, pick.
You could trade somebody for cash, but that's low key disrespectful.
Give him picks.
It just depends on what you really need. If you get cash, that means you probably thinking about bringing in a player, or you might drop a contract on the player that you think is worth it, who's really not worth it.
Detroit has a while before they figure anything out. But
Honestly,
they might take a draft pick. That makes sense. But then they would also need a player, a decent player to help them get some sort of production so they can see who is my future now.
For what? They about to tank and get the number 1 pick. That's what's about to happen. Or be able to have a very good possibility in that draft lottery. Get that number 1.
I just feel like the best fit for Blake should go back to the Clippers. I don't know what they're going to give up. I think it would be a very, very he would be very useful in the Clippers for sure. But I just wouldn't give up a lot for Blake, honestly. And I don't think people are looking to give up a lot to get Blake Griffin.
What is he? He came in 2009 or 2010?
9.
Yeah, 9.
So he's going on his 13th year or 12th year. He's already had knee surgeries a couple times. I mean, getting for an aging guy that can hit a 18-footer that can get you 8 rebounds a game. Yeah, I mean, it's not too many teams that's going to need him. That's going to be like, yo, we in title contention now. So I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Maybe he go to the Rockets. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah.
Him and Boogie.
Atlanta.
But they got Christian Woods too.
Atlanta.
Nah, I ain't going to Atlanta.
Maybe he go to the Spurs.
Shoo, I wouldn't mind it.
Maybe he'll go to the Trailblazers.
I thought about them.
Shoo.
I thought about him. I thought about them on the Trailblazers.
CJ Dame, Carmelo.
Wouldn't be bad.
Why do you always say CJ Dame?
I'm saying CJ.
He's the number 2.
CJ's a walking bucket. Crafty.
I'm tired.
Craftiest player in the league.
CJ, man. I ain't gonna lie. That boy.
Craftiest player in the league.
Crafty who?
Mm-hmm.
Mac and cheese.
Alton Krabs, baby.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, like mac and cheese.
Yo,
I know we've been on the NBA for a while, man. So let's switch focus. Let's go to the NFL.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're just gonna touch on it a little bit. Tom Brady did his thing. Time out. Did y'all see Patrick Mahomes' incomplete pass make it to the top 100 plays of the NFL?
Are you talking about the one where he was like bent in half and then he threw it in the end zone?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was a nice throw.
Hell of a throw. It was a hell of a throw.
Do that. You can't do that. Kenny can't do that.
To sit here and call it
hey, don't tell me out like that. I could probably do it.
What's the keyword in that sentence? Probably.
I haven't tried it. Don't worry about it.
He not have made it though. Come on. His incomplete pass was that good.
Bro, hold on. But he got it to the destination.
Nah, man.
He got it to the destination.
I ain't with that.
It was literally the player's hands.
It could have been picked off too. It could have been a great pick.
Well, regardless, that throw would have went down just like it went down right now. If it was a pick, it would have been known as one of the greatest interceptions. If that was a touchdown, that would have been a nice touchdown in NFL history.
Would have been the greatest pick of NFL history then.
I've seen better.
Because we just making accusations.
Bro, I mean, who have you seen has done that before? Even though it wasn't completed, but it reached its destination.
Who cares? I don't care. It didn't count. It didn't go down in history. If it wasn't completed, it doesn't matter. How about that? If it didn't complete in the hands, if it wasn't an interception or completion, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Okay.
It shouldn't have made it to 100. That's my opinion. But Tampa Bay definitely did their thing. Tom Brady got a 7.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Golden boy.
Gronk was killing it.
2 tutties.
Two of them.
Bro, he was quiet. This whole season.
He was quiet.
This man was quiet.
What did I tell you? It's about the threat. Having the threat of Gronk changed the dynamic of that game.
But
I
that
told you that all season.
so wide open.
Yeah, it was a good play action play, man. Good RPO.
Say it again.
But like I said,
Should have caught that goddamn touchdown pass.
but he didn't. Keyword could have.
It would have happened if I was in the NFL.
I doubt that.
Come on.
But all right.
Don't hate. Don't hate.
But yeah, he deserved it. Of course, you knew he was going to get that. He was going to get Super Bowl MVP.
Of course.
Wait, Tom Brady is partying like he done lost his mind. He throwing the Lombardi trophy across the water, boat to boat.
I was so hoping it fell. So hoping it fell.
You want to know what's crazy? They out here just partying with no mask. You don't see no fines, no nothing. I guess
it's Florida.
Who's gonna find Tom Brady?
It's Florida.
He can afford a fine for you. That man can afford all 3 of our student loans combined.
That's
first of all,
neither here nor there.
First of all, he rode his personal boat. It's not
gonna matter.
He rode his personal boat. It's a $2 million boat. That was his boat. He threw the thing, not the team owner's boat. It was his boat. So at that point, he could do whatever he want with that Lombardi trophy.
Nobody's gonna do anything.
I don't care.
It's gonna be the Brady trophy soon,
bro.
Hell,
they're definitely gonna name something after Tom Brady. They definitely are.
They already gave him a penalty. Like, well, you can't hit somebody below the knees or something crazy like that.
It's the tuck rule. It's the tuck rule.
I think he got like 2-3 rules. Honestly, that's after him.
Can I deflate before 12 minutes before the game?
Like, it's a lot of rules for Tom Brady. Like, I'm sorry.
And you can't watch another team's practice before the Super Bowl.
Bro, like,
I mean, he got some stuff, but at the same time, I mean, GOAT status, man. You can't even deny that.
You can't take it.
It took me a while just because of my bias.
It's 7th. Let's talk about Texas. What is going on in H-Town?
Bro, hey.
JJ Watt got released, but my man Deshaun Watson still can't get what he's deserving of.
Man. This is interesting.
That's crazy though. And Watt literally just sat down and like, yeah, I want to go. It was like, okay.
Yeah, and that's my issue with this whole how both of those guys were treated. Deshaun, I mean, maybe they went about it in totally different ways, but to my knowledge, they kind of didn't. They went about it around the same way as far as we want to leave the team, and it just happens that Deshaun has a no trade clause. Other than that, I think that he probably would have been left. But I think that Deshaun Watson, I don't know what's going on between them, but
they don't want to let him go. They're not going to.
Yeah, but you don't want to let JJ go either. Like he still has a lot to give
to his contract. They're like, yeah, if you don't want to play, okay, cool.
Regardless
I'm not giving him up. That's literally what they're doing.
Yeah.
Regardless of injuries, JJ has a lot to give.
You said what?
Deshaun Watson, I'm really starting to feel bad for him. People resigning over there in H-Town. Like, I'm not understanding.
Everybody wants to leave Houston.
Team president's gone.
He's gonna get out of there really soon.
That organization right now just looks like it's in shambles.
Oh yeah, they're about to hit rebuilding mode once Deshaun Watson's out of there.
Oh no, they're already in rebuilding mode. It ain't no about to. Like, it's starting.
When I say rebuilding,
I just don't think they have a solid plan.
They don't have any key players on their squad. That's why I'm still saying they have something with JJ Watt and Deshaun Watson.
I don't think.
Well, they still have David Johnson, but
oh yes, oh my gosh, I forgot. Yeah, that man's a threat too.
He probably end up leaving, but
we'll see.
I don't think they have a plan at all. Like, it's no way you have.
I think they're gonna wing it.
Yeah, and hope for the best. Hope for the best. It's nothing that they can do.
But I kind of wonder who Watt's gonna sign to and who really needs him. Well, quite a few teams do need him, but who is he gonna go to?
We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. That's even if like he's traded before the season even starts.
Definitely.
We'll see. Now we're gonna switch focus to the NFL awards, man. It was a lot of players who won out there. A couple who were debatable. But we ain't gonna touch on that.
I mean, a lot of players that were debatable, but hey, I respect it. I mean, y'all want to start off with the MVP? Well, how y'all feel about Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers, well deserved.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Okay.
What
I
is it?
agree with that one. Y'all don't think over Derrick Henry? Y'all think he definitely should have got over Derrick?
Over
No,
Derrick
because
Henry for
Derek got
sure.
offensive player of the year. So
Over Derrick Henry for sure.
yeah, no,
Okay.
he already
I
got
think
it.
I
He
think
already got his
I think
finals. He
Aaron
never
Rodgers'
MVP.
impact was more felt, and the Packers really needed.
Yeah,
Like,
I
yeah.
mean, but think about when you know a team is gonna. So me as Derrick Henry, y'all know we're gonna run, right? And I still run over you for over 100 yards a game and get 2,000 plus in the season. You
but
know it's
this,
coming, and I'm still coming at you. I think that when you're able to take somebody's soul and have a dominant running game like that, I think that is just too special to ignore.
Okay.
The offensive player of the year ain't enough, to be honest, in my opinion. But
I feel like Aaron
literally,
Rodgers, when you know he's going to throw the ball and you have
bro. Yeah, literally. Take what you just said right now. Take what you
Yeah.
just said. You know,
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is gonna pass it, but
Because
you
he's quarterback.
can't stop it.
Thing is, you can't. The thing about Aaron Rodgers is that his receivers make a lot of the plays. He throws the ball in a lot of tight windows, and he throws the ball in
He knows how to
very
do it.
tight
That's why
spaces.
he does it.
His receivers are very good at catching the
There's
ball too.
quarterbacks who can't put it right where you need it to be put it.
Yeah.
So
Again,
he knows what he's doing.
yeah, that helps a lot. But you talk about one guy, you have 9 in the box versus one guy, and he's still
But
getting over 100 yards.
it's not like
The
It's
9,
tough.
I mean,
It's tough.
he is
It's
literally
tough.
like 6'5", like
He's still running
240.
4.5, but he runs a 4.5.
But the thing
Exactly.
about it is, it's not like you don't have
He's a train.
Tennessee though. You have a wide receiver in Tennessee.
8 wide receiver.
He's a dog.
Yeah, but he's not. He wasn't like, look, all right, we got AJ and we got Derrick Henry. We gonna do something. No, we got Derrick Henry.
If you put AJ anywhere else, I'm telling you, AJ would take off. If you put him on a passing team, he will be a monster. And you know that. We can't sleep on AJ like that. You know AJ.
I'm not, but I think he benefits a lot from having that running game. That's all I'm saying.
I think he would benefit even if he didn't have a running game because AJ's just good.
He's good, but again, I think that some players benefit from having a complementary game to them. Same as I think that a lot of good running backs like Alvin Kamara benefits from having a very good passing game down in New Orleans with Drew Brees. Like it's some players that just benefit from having a complementary offensive, aspect to him. And I think that AJ is one of those guys, and I haven't seen him on a Derrick Henry down year yet. So I want to see that eventually, or have him have as equally a good year as Derrick Henry, go over 1,200 yards, go over 1,300 yards.
So is it AJ's fault, or is it more of the offense fault of how they're pursuing every game, or is it the quarterback's fault?
It's tough when you got a guy that's going over 100-some yards a game. You just got to feed him. It's not like you don't feed that guy. It's like Adrian Peterson, his MVP year, his comeback year. Are you going to not feed that guy? No, you're not. You're going to feed him. They had a decent passing game that year. But
so the Packers have a running game?
The Packers with Aaron Jones?
No.
He's
well, I think that he's good, but
him,
not according to his last playoff game. Not according to his last couple.
He's not really scary, but it's like
I think he's good.
They're gonna run the ball to Aaron Jones.
I'm not saying his talent. I'm not questioning his talent. I'm saying, does the Packers have a running game?
I would say yes.
I would say it depends on the defense.
Yeah, I think that they can run the ball.
Defense as well. I just feel like it's hard to stop Aaron Rodgers.
It is.
Derrick Henry.
It is.
And I just felt like Aaron Rodgers' impact was more.
But who's taking? Am I want a guy that's going to just throw over me, or do I want a guy that's going to take the defense soul? And I think that that's what Derrick Henry does. Yo, think about Josh Norman. When you get stiff arm or Earl Thomas not in the league no more because of that. Because he got stiff arm by Derrick Henry used him as a blocker. Josh Norman, you ain't heard Josh Norman had a good game earlier in the year, or last year, or late last year, and then he got stiff arm and thrown to the ground like a rag doll and used as a meme for 2 weeks. I don't think Norman is still on that team anymore. Just because of that.
They made
cool.
it.
I'm just saying.
But yeah.
Discount double check ain't doing it. He ain't even doing that no more.
That's cool enough.
We'll see next year. We'll see
Yeah.
next year.
We'll see next year. That's cool enough.
Say,
But Aaron
if
Rodgers
Derrick can lead in yards and touchdowns again, and add a little more, like improve his stats, then okay, we'll see.
I just don't think his
Just
2,000 yards, which is a rarity for a running back,
with 2,100 total scrimmage yards.
just
That's a lot.
Was just
That's not the record yet.
enough.
Right. The record.
No.
Damn, I don't know how much.
It wasn't enough to beat Aaron Rodgers in the type of season that man had.
I think Aaron Rodgers just got that just because he hasn't made he hasn't made that many mistakes. 5 interceptions is amazing.
That's what I'm saying. 5.
It's
he
amazing.
threw how many touchdowns?
48.
Exactly.
48. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong.
That's hard.
But 2,100. You're in a pass happy league, and you're still running for over 2,100 total scrimmage yards. It's a pass happy league.
But that makes it worse. That makes it worse on Aaron Rodgers when you.
That's the problem.
When you know Aaron's gonna pass,
and you don't know to who,
and you only get picked off of 5 times and get 48 touchdowns. What was his QB rating? Like 127?
It was 120, 129.2.
Amazing. Let him give me the extra 2, 129. God.
No, I agree with you.
It's
he
amazing.
Had a great year.
It's amazing.
I think that we just could have made a hell of an argument for Derrick Henry as well. You just can't throw that career.
Player of the year. So why does it matter? He still won an award.
It's not the MVP. It's not the MVP.
Offensive player of the year.
I don't care.
I see the argument.
It's not MVP.
I just felt like the MVP, like Aaron Rodgers just had an amazing year.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is his own level. Derrick Henry, not yet, but he won what he's going to win right now. He's at his level of offensive player of the year. Next 2 seasons, then you can say he deserves the MVP.
I can't.
What does he need to do?
I don't think he's going to ever have a season like he did this year.
Well, let me see. How many touchdowns?
I can't sit here and say, it's hard to get 2,000, like.
You think Aaron's going to throw another 40? Let's say he throws 45 and 7 next year. You think he's going to be still an MVP guy?
I think,
which is still worse.
Went down.
I don't think
if Aaron Rodgers' numbers go down like that, and if Derrick Henry could finish 25 with at least 20 touchdowns, that's 3 more touchdowns than he got this season. If he can get 3 more touchdowns, at least 3 more, and add 500 for 2,500 yards, then okay.
But it ain't about what he did really this year.
I think if he had 5 for 7 compared to the 48, because 48 is it sounds so much sexier than 45.
Yeah,
5 interceptions. Like the thing is, it's just like 48 is like, dang, he had 50. 45 is like you're 5 away. With 7,
how many quarterbacks have 45?
Huh?
Yo, if you have 20 touchdowns in a year, you get a big contract at the end of the year.
Damn.
30, you are almost a franchise quarterback. You are reaching franchise quarterback status.
He is a franchise quarterback. He has 48.
Well, not according to the Packers, because they just got Jordan Love last year. I don't know if they really think that Aaron Rodgers is the franchise guy anymore.
Yeah, the Patriots got Jimmy G, and you see how that turns out.
Bro,
that wasn't nothing.
The season went down with them, so if they think he's not a franchise quarterback, then they need to get rid of him. We'll gladly take him.
You and his weed, nobody wants to go to the Colts, bro. I'm sorry.
Better.
I don't.
Man, okay, man. What's the next?
What's the go there? The man, that we just talked about, the grown man of Tennessee.
Fast forward,
I get it, man. I'm happy for the man. 2,100 total yards, 17 touchdowns.
I know
Rookie of the year, Justin Herbert.
I know you love him, man, but hey, he's not there.
I mean, he had Defensive Player of the Year now with Aaron Donald. I think that there was a big controversy with that, him versus TJ Watt. But, I mean, TJ had a great year.
TJ Watt got over him, so not really.
You said, what was the question? What was it?
The statement was there's only 2 categories that TJ Watt has over Aaron Donald. And that's just like what? Pass deflections and sacks. That's it. And the force that
he has tackles over him too.
You said what?
He has tackles over him too. Yeah. You lead them in like 4 different categories. Okay.
Either way, it's just the man Aaron Donald's get triple team every play. His impact is felt more on the field. I think he's well deserved of it. I think he's well deserved of it. I think TJ Watt had a great year for sure. But to say
over Aaron Donald, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. It's just not yet. I feel as though if it was any other player, we could say TJ Watt.
But yeah, not Aaron Donald.
I think he has a hell of an argument, but I'm a big fan of Aaron Donald, so I'm with him. We can move forward. Let's go with offensive rookie of the year, Justin Herbert.
Justin Jefferson got robbed.
Heck no.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, bro, what? Justin
most passing touchdowns by any rookie.
Seriously?
I don't know.
He broke Baker Mayfield's record.
I mean, that's not something that's really me.
Yeah. I mean, bro, you literally just
said out loud.
He broke Baker's. Yeah. He broke Baker's, baby.
Yes, 31 touchdowns in your first NFL career, and he didn't even start this season. He didn't even start.
He started after week 2. He played the entire year.
Look at what Justin Jefferson did.
Jefferson had a great year, but it's a pass heavy league. It's all about the quarterback. You're going to give it to the quarterback before they do anything else.
Look at what he did as a rookie, and he broke Randy Moss records, not Baker. Randy Moss records.
What records?
Yeah.
Look at
it was the franchise receiving yards in a year, and I want to say receptions too. It's either receptions or touchdowns.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
Like what?
But
he was a monster.
It was definitely gonna give it to. Honestly,
quarterback, man.
If Joe Burrow finished the season, he would have got it.
Oh.
Joe was a dog, but we'll see.
Yeah, bro. Joe only played 10 games, and that boy had 26-88 with 13 touchdowns and 5 picks in 10 games. He had 5 picks.
So you're telling me he would have possibly caught up to Justin Herbert, and you said 13?
13 touchdowns, and that was only 10 games in.
So those 6 games, you think he would have got 20-something touchdowns?
Maybe.
To possibly go ahead of Herbert?
Maybe.
That's 3+ again.
If they don't lean it all only on touchdowns, he wasn't that. He definitely would have caught up in yards, and he threw way less picks than he did too.
We'll see.
He only played 10 games. You don't think in 6 games he'd have thrown 3 more picks?
Depends, probably not. Because if you
literally
break it down, he played 10 games and threw 5 picks. That's 5 games without an interception.
Okay, but that's half your game. The ratio, that's half, right?
And
half.
You're throwing only 1 pick a game. 1. That means you see a mistake, you notice it, and then you correct it.
So this is 1 pick,
bro. If your quarterback threw 1 pick, you're not gonna be mad because picks happen. They happen. But if he was throwing 2, 3, then you'd be upset. But 1 out of 4 quarters, 1, and you're gonna get mad? Stop lying.
That's not the point. That wasn't the point at all. The point was you were bringing up the stat part as far as beating his rookie record that Justin Herbert has. He has 31 touchdowns. At the time, through 10 games, that man had 13 touchdowns. That is 1.3 touchdowns per 4 quarters, with half an interception per 4 quarters, according to the stats you just gave me. Now, if he'd have played 6 more games using that logic, he'd have got 6 more, or about 8 more touchdowns with 3 more interceptions. Maybe. 21 touchdowns to, let's say, 10 or 11 picks. You think that'd have been, offensive rookie of the year?
Like I stated before I went on my ramble with the stats, if you look at it from more than just touchdowns, hence why I brought the other stats up. Because it doesn't always matter about one thing, it matters about a lot of things. So if you take away the touchdowns, because 31 ain't easy to do, and Herbert has a better team with San Diego, LA, my bad, with LA than Burrow does with Cincinnati.
I just don't see what Burrow does better than Herbert to be like, at least this past year, with their teams to be like, all right, cool. Even if he would play, I would give him the player of the year. Like, he had a very good, decent year, but he's in Cincinnati. Like
you don't expect a lot from him.
Ain't no awards going up there, man. I'm sorry, but
telling you,
ain't
he
no
But
would
awards
Justin
going to
Jefferson,
Cincinnati.
close second.
Justin Jefferson, but we could move past that. What's next?
All right, so we've done
Comeback player of
offensive
the year.
rookie, defensive rookie of the year. We got Chase Young. Got to bring him up. Hometown guy. Watch the
Definitely.
football team. You already know how we do.
Okay.
Uh,
Well deserved for sure.
yeah, I mean, ain't nothing to really say about him. This man was well deserved. This guy's a hell of a player. And comeback player of the year, another Washington football team guy. Now, hopefully, he can come back next year. Alex Smith.
Well deserved. Some people probably don't think so.
We need him.
All right. All right.
We need a backup.
He only played 8 games.
Came back. I don't care.
He
came
more
back week
interceptions and
5.
touchdowns.
See, offline we're gonna talk about, but you're talking about a man that had surgeries that man went through some stuff. He came back for his kids, and he came back and he was ready to
Who
play.
got coach of the year?
We got Kevin Stefanski of the Browns.
Yeah,
had a very good year, and
Yes, well deserved.
I'm looking forward to see what he can do next year, moving into the second year.
Definitely. Well deserved. Now, Hall of Fame recognition.
Whoa! I'm sorry, we got one more. Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Russell Wilson.
The great Russell Wilson. Congratulations to him and all the work he's been doing in that community. Actually, congratulations to all the Walter Payton nominees from all the teams. So all you guys are doing a great job in the community. So just keep it up. That's all I'm gonna say. But go ahead, guys.
Definitely. So let's switch focus. Hall of Fame recognitions as well. Who we got, sir?
You got Peyton Manning.
Of course.
Yes, sir.
Charles Woodson.
Of course.
You needed
my
that.
guy.
Megatron, Calvin Johnson.
Of course.
Not surprised. You got head coach Tom Flores.
Flores.
Al Finisa. And you got Drew Pearson, wide receiver.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody who made it.
Definitely. Shout out to everybody.
Peyton Manning was definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's gonna headline everything.
Okay. Let us know. Of course he is, though. Yeah, that's the great Peyton Manning.
He would be the greatest if he had the same amount of rings as Tom Brady, but that's another topic.
Oh, here we go.
Not getting it.
Let's switch over a little bit to something more serious. Domestic violence in the NFL. Okay. And how people portray these NFL players. Now, Chad Wheeler, who used to play for the Seahawks, got arrested for domestic abuse. And what's crazy is that the headlines were just not as big as I would like them to be when you sit here and you watch how they did Ray Rice. You see how Kareem Hunt. It just wasn't big. It wasn't catastrophic. It was just like they just wanted to say it, get it over with, brush it under the rug. They didn't tackle on anything, like try to investigate it as deep as they did. It's almost like they just swept it under, just threw it out there real quick and just swept it under.
I feel like they did that because of the suspect and the victim. Like, I guess we kind of got to get into this topic a little bit because it is apparent and it's just like put right in front of us. A white football player striking a young black woman, you know who they're going to put first. So it's just like, because of that, honestly, literally, if that was a white woman that was struck, it would have been taken a lot more serious. Literally. And they do take domestic violence a little bit serious based off of the players that were just named. That's the only time they take it serious. But when it comes to their own kind, and when the victim is from the opposite side, bottom of the pole, why should I care about her?
So you definitely think this is a race thing?
Did they ever give Colin Kaepernick a job? But like I said, that's another conversation.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all, honestly, because I think it's a race thing as well. And it's just something that's actually not talked about a lot, which is really crazy to me. Because Ray Rice, it seemed like they could not stop talking about it.
And like, I'm not gonna defend any.
That was a different situation as well,
Ray
though.
Rice Ray. This one is worse though. This one's worse. Ray Rice uppercutted his wife one time she was out.
No, it's not that problem.
Literally strangled her, and when he strangled her, and when she came back, he was like, "Wait, you're alive?"
No,
worse.
Okay, so this was horrible, and the Ray Rice thing. All domestic violence was horrible. I think that with Ray Rice, he was caught on camera, so that video just kept replaying whether there was new news to talk about or not. So for him, that was just a continue. Like the video itself was going viral, so that was a totally different thing. You've had other people. I don't want to really get into the race thing. I hope that it's not about race thing, and I'm hoping that even in this time, it's just more of just a technological thing where it's just like there's something new happening every day. There's something that's always going to be worse, unfortunately, or different that's going to take our interest away from that. And the good thing is that the team did what they were supposed to do. Most teams when they see something going on with their players, but they say, all right, cool, we're gonna put him on leave for a little bit. He's gonna be away from the team, and we're gonna investigate this. What the Seahawks did as soon as they found out is that they released him, and they said, we're not even going to go down that road with you. We know what happened, and we're not going to even reward you or even make it look like rewarding you or giving you a pass for going through something like this. The NFL is not going to even have to go do anything. We're going to do something. So I applaud the Seahawks for doing that. I'm not going to necessarily touch on the race part just because I think that there's two sides to everything. As far as going that way. So yeah, look, I just applaud the team for making the right decision at the right time instead of prolonging and waiting for it. But this is just a horrible situation that even had to happen. Of course, unfortunately.
Definitely, and I definitely agree with that. But at the same time, as much as I don't like to make it about race, I feel as though it is a race situation just for the simple fact that it doesn't get as much attention as it should.
But do you want to keep talking about that, or do you want to talk? Do you want to keep talking about that?
I don't want to keep talking about it, but the thing is just that when Black people do certain things, it's like it's escalated to a certain degree compared to what just happened. It's almost like they say it just to say it, and then like, oh, on to the next topic. And that's what I don't like. Like another example, I didn't want to touch on it tonight, but since we're talking about the whole race thing, I wanted to talk about Serena Williams and her competitor Arena Sabalenka, how she threw her
racket
down, cracked the whole racket, and how that is not getting as much attention as it was when Serena did it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things.
It seemed like she was angry.
Yeah. Things are so escalated when Black people do it compared to what other people do it. And that's my frustration with it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's race issues in everything or most things that's going on in the general public and society right now. But if you just try to look at it through those lenses, it's going to be very hard to see other things. Looking at this is something like you just got to take 1,000-foot view for real. You just got to be like, all right, cool. What happened in this situation? If you want to put race in it, okay. But as far as explaining that, I'm not sure if the act itself explains, or the race explains the act. I'm focused on the act. I'm focused on the violence that occurred in the home, what happened. So if we can eliminate that, I don't care about the race. Race doesn't matter to me. And it doesn't matter if they were Hispanic, doesn't matter if Middle Eastern, if they were European, doesn't matter about none of that. It matters that it happened. And that's what I'm trying to focus on, as far as when I think about this issue. Like, how can we prevent domestic violence from continuing in our communities, whether it's, race, community, gender, whatever, just that can't happen. So that's why.
And I definitely understand that as well, because domestic violence is nothing to play with.
Yeah, it's not a race issue. That's a
It's
human thing.
It's not.
it's not, but
No,
it's to the point where it's almost become two things instead of just it being one.
a mental thing too.
Where it's it's domestic violence and race, where it could just be domestic violence because everybody know how draining racial tension is. Like to battle that every day. And now we gotta try to fix two things at once, which is even more draining because we're trying to figure how can we eliminate domestic abuse, but also on the other hand, how can we eliminate racism?
I think both are either you cannot erase them at all, or certain people has to expire.
Again, I think there's two sides to a lot of things. Uh, it's going to be scary because the question now becomes: if, will we be talking about this if this was a black male and a white woman? You
Yes.
know, I mean, like, so would it be? It'd be talked about, for the first 2 weeks or so, but after that, would we be talking about this as much?
If a black
How,
man hit a
but
white
how
I
woman,
don't think it'd be talked about as like that much more. To be honest with you,
if a black
I
man hit a
can't
white woman,
and that's the thing. I want to say I want to agree with you. I want to be like it would not matter the race of the man or the woman, but I can't
so I
because
mean, I just think like we should focus on what's important, whether they were African American, whether they were white, Hispanic, whatever.
I
Does it
understand
does
what
it
you're
take
saying.
away from the fact that they put their hands on a woman?
it
Yeah,
never
no,
takes away from that fact.
no.
That's what I'm saying. I don't. That's why I try not to look at things like that because it doesn't take away, nor does it add to the problem.
But my thing is when certain things get more attention, it seems like the effect seems to be worse.
Okay.
Since like the punishment is always increased when things get more attention.
Of course.
That's why it's like
And even
just
though there wasn't a
it just seemed
video like
like
there
it
was
just
for
I
Ray
don't know.
Rice, there was a whole picture of his girlfriend just black and bloody, bro.
I get it. I mean,
It's like
yeah,
it's that
that's
whole
So
thing.
horrible.
That whole thing, it to me, it kind of makes me think about two different things. Definitely domestic violence, one, and two about the mental thing by playing football. A lot of people they lose their minds. A lot of them go crazy. So it's like I don't know if that played a part of it, but with what's known with CTE and other head conditions when it comes to playing the game, that's my perspective. I kind of link them together. I would definitely want to be wrong about it, but it's like, bro, it's crazy. And domestic violence should never happen. Like you should never put your hands on somebody that you say that you really care for. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are. Just don't put your hands on another woman, on a woman, or women. Please don't put your hands on men. Don't hit each other.
at all. So, but that's it for today's episode here at Chalk It to the Game. Like I said, I'm your host Marquise, and I'm here with my two brothers here. Kenneth Brooks, go ahead and say your piece.
KB, you already know who it is, man. It's good to be back on here. It's good to be with my brothers Sue and Keith. Looking forward to another episode, fellas.
And Joe Sue Croissant.
Awesome.
It's your boy Joe Sue, man. I'm great to be back with the two homeboys, you know what I'm saying? Back from the college days. We doing this thing, and now we about to make something revolutionary.
Thank you. Just tune in next week. Peace.
We out.
Deuces.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Chalk It to the Game podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Chalk It to the Game, Twitter at Chalk It the number 2 the game, as well as YouTube at Chalk It to the Game channel. You can also catch us on every platform where you can find your favorite podcast. Just search Chalk It to the Game and enjoy.